God.
Shh.
Don't shush me.
Shh. We're going to start the show.
Play the fucking...
Welcome to the show. Let's see what has been happening in the wrestling world. Welcome to the show, where comedy meets wrestling by fans for fans. The Two Counts, always the best guests in Midwest. The Two Counts, great time guaranteed because we're the best of the best. Meet Ace and JR, Top Shelf Tommy, we're about to start. Welcome to the Two Counts. It's time to dig deep into the wrestling world. Welcome to the Two Counts, where comedy meets wrestling by fans for fans. The Two Counts.
The Two Count. The Two Count. Where comedy meets wrestling. Please comment, share, like, and start a hype train for God's sakes. And now, here are the hosts of The Two Count. Comedian John Russell, wrestling broadcaster Big Ace, and everybody's favorite heel, Top Shelf Tommy.
Another rainy Tuesday. Oh my God, people, are you afraid of the rain? You should be, because if you're driving down 494 today in the rain, that was not fun. That was not fun at all. How's weather down there in the Southland, Ace?
Shitty.
Yeah. I tell you.
I think we got through the worst of it. Like, there was like a 5 to 8 minute period where it was bad.
Yeah.
Like, really, fucking 70-mile-per-hour winds and all that shit. And a lot of our friends to the south got fucked up too. So
yeah. Well, there was a nice little string of tornadoes that ran through.
Are you guys under a watch?
Yeah, we're still under a watch until 9 o'clock. But I'm assuming that once this stops raining, and it clears out, they'll cancel it.
Nothing's more Midwestern than talking about the weather.
Sure, there is too. There's plenty of stuff to talk.
Yeah, there's the Minnesota goodbye.
Yeah.
There's the drinking too much for the sake of fucking drinking.
And the reason that you drink from a small town is because there's nothing else to do.
True.
Yeah, so I guess that's what. Yeah, you drink because there's nothing else to do, and then you talk about the weather because there's nothing else to talk about.
That's right. That's flipping right.
Man, I tell you though, I'm exhausted. I'm on fumes. I'm ready for the fucking weekend already. It's Tuesday, everybody. It's another terrific 2 Count Tuesday.
Dude, this is what's great though for me. Today is my Thursday. Tomorrow's my Friday because I go on vacation on Thursday.
Blah, 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 blah.
Fuck off, Tom.
Nerd.
Anyways, yeah. So I have that coming up. So this week has sucked too, but mine's almost done. Sorry, Tom.
Fuck off.
Well, you're not sorry about you're not sorry to me. That's
well, but you weren't complaining. He was.
Hey, Bugsy.
I'm gonna just.
Damn it.
All right, our guest is here, so let's add him in.
Let's do it.
Yo!
And let's do this. And
the
do
man,
that.
the myth, the legend, Tusslemania is here.
Yeah, what's
boys,
up,
boys. My guys, can you hear me good?
Yeah, we got you.
Can you guys
sporting that NWA T-shirt? That's awesome.
Oh shit! Yeah. Shout out to NWA. I'm about to name drop a little bit here. I was just at Daisy Kill's house, NWA star, filming some stuff with him. We were actually shooting a little project. It's kind of like a little music video that Billy Corgan's going to be involved with. And then now I'm actually on my way to Lucha Lit Lince Dorado's house to shoot some stuff over there.
Awesome.
My God. are you never not working?
Right.
I was going to say, does Billy Corgan know anything about music? Ah! Sorry. I'm sorry.
He probably won't mind.
Well, the next time he watches, he can yell at us. Oh my gosh! So I got to tell you, it's awesome that you're working with NWA on that stuff, because way back when they started doing the shows on YouTube, absolutely one of my favorite things to watch. And so it's exciting. How long have you been involved with those guys?
So I've only actually done one loop with them. And then, sorry if you guys can hear that. I've only done one loop with them. And then on the Crockett Cup, I actually had a date with TNA. So I missed Crockett Cup, and then I'm thinking that I'm pretty sure I'll be on the next loop, which I believe is coming up fairly soon. So I'm hoping to hit as many dates as possible with them. They're really cool to work with. Backstage is awesome. Roster's awesome. Just trying to pretty much work with whoever, wherever, and yeah, just doing it, man. Doing the grind. But yeah, NWA's rad, man. I love working with them.
So I was going to say, looking at your Instagram, you've got so much stuff, and you work with so many people over the years. How long have you been working in the wrestling industry?
Dude, so man, probably at this point, 7 or 8 years maybe total. Funny enough, I used to work very closely with Wes Briscoe, which is how I know Big Ace.
Yeah.
And through Wes, he would just bring me to all of his shows, bro. Every single time that Wes had an indie show, I pretty much would go as like Wes's guy. So he introduced me to so many people. And again, this was probably 8 or so years ago. And I was only doing photography. Sorry, can you guys hear that?
Oh, you're good.
So I was only doing photography back then, and I just wasn't finding success, man. Like, no matter where I went, who I worked with, what I did, it was so hard to, like, get a penny anywhere, honestly. And for years and years and years, Wes was, like, the only one that had given me $1, like, for any services. So it was getting pretty tiring. Eventually, I met Low-Key at a show, and Low-Key instilled a business sense in me that really, really resonated, and that kind of started to shift a lot of things. And that's when I also switched to video. And as a videographer, I became a lot more valuable because there's a lot less of us. We're not as oversaturated as the photographers are. And I started to get a little bit of a niche with my style of videography. I try to shoot my stuff more like a movie, as opposed to everyone else basically shooting on their cell phone. So I kind of created an aesthetic. And once I made that look, then I started getting bookings all over the place. And the two main places were pretty much Mission Pro and Revolver. And ever since being associated with Revolver, I mean, I kind of honestly owe everything to Sami Callihan. That dude's given me, like, everything I have in my career right now. And he's currently, like, really, really trying to get me with TNA. So, I mean, I feel like with him, the sky's the limit. And he wants to bring me everywhere he goes. He wants me there with him. And I really, really fucking love that.
Dude, that's what's up. You got to be there for some big moments in Revolver history, too. That's dude, that's crazy. What are some of the favorites right now from Revolver?
Man, some of the favorites, there's too many. One, I will tell you probably the coolest, and I'm literally getting goosebumps thinking about it right now. So Marina Shafir liaisoned the whole Ronda Rousey coming to Revolver. And I'm a lifelong MMA fan. I love UFC, Bellator, Pride, fucking anything. I'm a diehard for it. So when I found out that I was going to be working with Ronda, that was really, really special to me. As soon as I got into the building, Marina being a really close friend of mine. I've worked with Marina for a really long time, and I've worked with Roddy Strong for a really long time. So as soon as I walked in the building, Marina put me over so hard to Rhonda. She had her arm around me, was saying like, "This is my guy. Tussle's the best," just like shining me up. And Rhonda's just got this grin on her face. It couldn't have been a better like introduction. And I absolutely love Marina for doing that for me. And just that whole show, the first time we were in LA, where we run out of Dayton Dayton, Ohio, and Des Moines, Iowa. We just started doing a little bit of Texas. So for us to go to LA was a very, very different experience. And to have Rhonda there, that's got to be hands down like the coolest experience. So a couple days after that, I made a little edit of some clips of Rhonda, and I hit up Marina and I said, "Hey, do you think if I made something with Rhonda, she'd like dig it, or does she like not really fuck with?" And she was like, "I'm gonna give her the heads up. Just go ahead and make it, collaborate with her, and we'll see what happens." So I make this little reel. I collaborate with Rhonda, not expecting a thing, and within 5 minutes, Ronda Rousey followed me and collabed on that video. And to this day, I still get, every single day I get new comments on that video. It's hands down like my most watched or viral or whatever video on my profile. That like, even the fact that like she followed me, like, come on, she didn't have to do that. That's so damn cool, dude. So I'd have to say that is the coolest moment for Revolver. But oh man, there's so many other ones, dude.
Quite a few names you're dropping there, which is great to hear. So what you said you're an MMA guy, but what kind of brought you over to wrestling? Was it just the connections you might have made, or was it just, you know, a love for that too?
Dude, it was Wes. It was Wes. I've always loved wrestling when I was little, and I dropped out of it. I really lost interest in it basically after the Attitude Era. Like, to this day, I've never seen like a John Cena match or a Randy Orton match. There's a big CM Punk. I never saw any of his dudes. It was like Stone Cold, Mankind, Undertaker, all Attitude Era. Once Attitude Era was over and once ECW was gone, I was like, I'm out. So I missed a big chunk, and I actually had a neighbor who would bring me to like NXT, and I didn't even know what indie wrestling was. I didn't miss it. So funny enough, the very first NXTs we went to, everyone there was, and I'm looking at my buddy like, do you know who this guy is? And fucking fast forward now, like, I talk to Sammy every day. That dude's damn near my fucking dad. He's one of my closest, dearest friends. It blows my mind how far we've come with that, man. Just the connections in wrestling are insane. But from I trained jiu-jitsu as well. I've always trained jiu-jitsu, and there was always a lot of crossover with that. So I knew like a lot of high school wrestlers. Those wrestlers would go to indie shows and stuff like that. So it all blended together, but it wasn't until I started hanging out with Wes again, and Wes was bringing me to his shows and getting me backstage, and that's what really gave me the bug to start pursuing it, basically.
How many years total are you in doing photography and videography?
Oh man, so my first published photo in a magazine was for Nike in 2008. So that's kind of like, I kind of base that as like, I mean, I did photography before that, but as far as like a publication, like to me, there's like, okay, in jiu-jitsu, like jiu-jitsu, you get legitimacy at a blue belt. In photography, legitimacy when you, I shot photography since like high school, basically, like 2004, and then by 2008 was when I could open up a magazine and look at a photo of mine with a Nike logo, and like, yeah, so that's kind of where I base it. I would say 2008 is when I like started hitting it hard.
That's pretty cool. So in high
but also
school,
that was in, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was going to say.
I was just going to say, so when I worked for Nike, it was in the wake skate industry. So that's how I got back with Wes. Wes was a pro wakeboarder. So I would go to events, and Wes would be there, and we'd shoot together. And then at the end of the night, we'd go to a wrestling show. It was a really, really fun time in my life. But I knew that wake skating was like it was a kind of a temporary, like wake skating was kind of like a rich kid sport. Like you have to have a fucking boat. You have to like skateboarding. You can buy a $50 skateboard and go in your front yard and skateboard. Like wake skating is a specialty niche thing, and eventually like its time just ran out, and a lot of sponsors started pulling out of the industry. And when Nike pulled out, the sport was kind of done, and that's when I made a full transfer over to wrestling. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you guys. There's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, no, good, don't worry about it. So what I was going to ask you was, when you were when you found your interest in photography in high school, right? Did you have a teacher in high school that kind of kindled that? Because I remember that was one of the big things. There was always an art teacher or a photography teacher that was able to find those kids that had that interest and just really add fuel to that fire.
Yo, 100%. So in high school, I sucked at photography. I shot like things, and I didn't have an eye for it. So to me, I was like, oh, there's a cool car. Let me shoot a photo of it. I didn't get it, but I was learning the process of using film. And if you ask a lot of photographers ringside now, they've never even touched film in their life. Oh, wow. So to have a base in film, like, I feel like helped me out a lot. And this particular art teacher, Mr. Gray, was the one that was the photography teacher. He also did painting, sculpture. There were tons and tons of art. My school only had 60 kids.
Oh, wow.
So I'm pretty sure we only had the one art teacher. Now that I think about it, I'm almost positive he did all the art stuff. So I was like an art nerd in high school. I didn't care about anything else. I just wanted to do art. Even when I went to college, I did like engineering for like 1 year, and then I was like, oh yeah, this isn't for me at all. And I very quickly changed over to studio arts, and all I was doing was like painting, photography, sculpture, basically all the art you can do. And then I was invited to do this trip in France and Germany to film for a video, and it like heavily interfered. It was like over a month long, and it like heavily interfered with my school. And by then I was just like, man, I'm like, school isn't doing anything for me. Like, art is clearly my path. And I was so into photography when I was young that my mom brought me to a tattoo artist when I turned 17. And she let me get this camera on my finger.
That's awesome.
And back then, like, you couldn't get a job if you had tattoos on your hand. So to me, that kind of like solidified my role in like the universe. Like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to have like an office job or something because I put a tattoo on my finger. And then, like, funny enough, years later, I worked at like a camera shop, and I sold thousands of dollars worth of cameras because of this little tattoo.
Oh,
it like gave me the legitimacy. They were like, wow, this dude's got a camera tattooed on him. Like, he must know a little bit, right? So it just full circle with that shit, yeah.
And when you put that tattoo on there, it's like pulling the safety net away, right?
Dude, yes. And I've always been a firm believer in shit like that, man. Like, to this day, I manifest like everything, dude. Everything. Like opportunities, meeting people. My car was like dying at one point, and I just like kept thinking about it. And one morning I woke up and my car had 2 flat tires, and I was just like, no, this is the day. We're going to figure out how to get a car. And I manifested a car. It's just like, dude, the power of the mind is insane. And once you start like honing in on it, and you can kind of like see the results, I'm so convinced of it now that I feel like I'm like, damn, what are the limits of this? Like, I really, really think hard about opportunities and first impressions and things like that. And for the most part, if I really, really set my mind to it, I've made a lot of stuff happen, man. I'm a firm believer in that, bro. And just being a good person and treating people right and just being kind, man. I think kindness goes a long way, and especially in this industry, I've been told that the kindest people are at the top, and that was confirmed to me very recently. I landed in Ohio for a Revolver tour, and right when I land, Sammy tells me, we're going to Moxley's dungeon to film a documentary, and I'm just like, okay. So we head there, and right when we get there, another car pulls up, and Bryan Danielson walks out, because he's going to train and shoot with us too. And like, I've shot with Moxley a lot because of Revolver, and he's really cool. He's always been cool with me. I've never met Danielson, and Danielson walked up and gave me like the double handshake, and like looked in my eyes, and dude, he was so kind and such an amazing, humble, cool, rad person that it really put into perspective. Like, dude, that guy's at the tippity top, and he can still be that kind of a person. It really like meant a lot to me. And then we were training jiu-jitsu stuff, and basically everyone in the room has like a basic understanding of jiu-jitsu, let's say, except for me, a blue belt, and Danielson. So when we're done shooting, he starts talking a little bit inside baseball with jiu-jitsu stuff, and you can kind of see the room kind of back out because they're like, oh, you know, we're going to stay in our lane what he's talking about. So I jumped in, and I started talking to him, like immediately throwing out terms like, oh yeah, I used to train rubber guard and with Eddie Bravo at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, and like, you know, real inside shit. And I saw him glowing. He was like, oh, damn. So, bro, at the end of this photo shoot, AEW was there and Sammy was there filming for a documentary. Everyone sat there and listened to Danielson and I talk for 45 minutes about jiu-jitsu. And that was like, dude, I was like, I can die happy now, bro.
Oh, hell yeah. So wait, what is it like? I mean, you're having all these cool experiences. What was it like when it first started tipping off, though? Like you said, you've tried so many times, it wasn't working, and then it kind of just started. When you started to really see it pop off, what was that like?
I think like once I started going to Texas a lot, stuff started to pop off. Thunder Rosa, bro. When Thunder Rosa hired me, I actually I would tour with her for her indies, and she would tell me like, hey, however you can use my name to help you, go for it. So at one point I got close enough with her that I was like, hey, can I basically like say that I'm your personal videographer? And she's like, yeah. So I would get bookings because I was Thunder Rosa's personal videographer.
Nice.
Like,
cool.
Yeah. So that, I think, I want to say that was the tipping point, bro, was Thunder putting me over. And so I didn't have, dude, this is crazy. I was just telling my girlfriend this. I didn't have a Twitter when I met Thunder Rosa. There was one night, and like all of these tours and stuff, she would just have me stay at her house. Like even to this day when we have Mission Pro, I just stay at her house. In fact, a couple shows ago, I stayed at her house for a week because I had a show at Revolver the next week, so it just made sense to not fly home. She just let me stay and crash at her house for a fucking week. So, anyways, Thunder, when she was going through, oh shit, hold on one second, guys. When Thunder was training her, when I would do tours with her and whatnot, and she told me that I could say that she didn't know that I didn't have a Twitter. So she made a Twitter for me one day. Like I didn't know like what you did on Twitter, or like how it was different from Instagram or whatever. I just didn't understand how it worked. She made my Twitter, dude, and then she was the first person to follow me.
Wow.
And just from that, like that also helped a lot. Obviously, just basically cloud chasing, bro. Just sums it up. Just basically cloud chasing.
Well, it's not a bad thing to be doing. I mean, you say cloud chasing obviously more as like a joke and stuff like that, but obviously the connections you made, I mean, these seem like these are real, genuine connection friendships that you've had for a long time and stuff. So you were mentioning as far as being a good person. These two guys don't quite understand what it is like to be the top shelf life. So,
And that guy doesn't know what it's like to be a nice person.
come on, man. But I mean, when you get in these situations, you just seem like you're an affable guy. I mean, have you always been this way? Have you always been kind of just fluid with, like you said, Danielson comes in, he shakes your hand, but then you have this conversation. Have you always been this kind of fluid guy that can just kind of adapt to situations, or do you feel like maybe people are just drawn to you by your personality?
Oh man, I think maybe a little bit of both, because I have been told a lot recently that I bring like a certain like happiness or energy. Dude, I hate negativity. I don't want to deal with anyone negative or anything like that. So like I just kind of try to radiate positivity and try to just bring a certain level of happiness. And I got to credit jiu-jitsu a lot for that. Jiu-jitsu instilled a lot of that discipline in me. And so I have a dog, and I named him Henzo, and I named him after Henzo Gracie. And Henzo Gracie is one of the obviously famous Gracie Jiu-Jitsu brothers. And if you ever see an interview with Henzo Gracie, he's always smiling, he's always bubbly, he's always happy. And they always ask him in the interviews, why are you always so fucking happy, dude? And his mentality is just like, why not? Well,
right.
Why carry negativity? Why carry hatred? Why be miserable when you have control over that shit? And just the way that he goes about his life and his philosophy really, really, I adopted that immediately when I got into jiu-jitsu. Like I said, I named my fucking dog after him as a daily reminder of Henzo and his philosophy. Henzo Gracie is such a rad dude that when he fought Sakuraba had him in an armbar, and Henzo looked at him and said, "Yo, go ahead and break it, dude, break it." And he broke his arm because Brazilians aren't allowed to tap. So he broke his arm, and when he lost, he stood up and he was smiling, and he shook Sakuraba's hand and said, "Thank you for an amazing fight." Dude, that's crazy, dude. I want to be like that, bro. So I avoid negativity. Like, that's it.
I mean, that actually does sound legitimately crazy, though. I mean, hey, thanks for breaking my arm. Now I get to go to the hospital. But hey, good fight. I mean, that's maybe a little bit mental right there.
Yo, it was like a 60-minute fight, too. I hope I have the fact. I might have to get some fact checks around here, but I'm pretty sure it was like a 60-minute fight. And yeah, it ended like that. Dude, craziness. But yeah, Henzo Gracie is like everything to me, man.
So have you done any, have you broke into the MMA world yet, doing what you're doing?
So when I was training jiu-jitsu, I was also training Muay Thai kickboxing, and yes, I was training for an amateur fight. And I actually had an amateur fight booked. And dude, I didn't care. Back to like my philosophy, like I didn't care if I got knocked out, submitted. I honestly didn't fucking care, dude. I just wanted to walk into a cage and fight another person. I just wanted to feel it, dude. I needed it when I was younger. And I've grown out of that. So I was training, and I was training really hard. I was doing jiu-jitsu at least 3 times a day and kickboxing twice a day. I was living in the fucking gym, dude. And I tore my fucking rotator cuff. So I had to pull out of my fight. And, but I kind of realized through that, other little injuries started happening after that. I always had a really, for some reason, I always had a really good left hook. And then all of a sudden, I fucking hurt my left wrist really bad. And then my left hook was just obsolete. So, I'm too old for it now. but like just the thought of it still like it irks me, dude, that I was never able to. And again, I could have gotten knocked out in 5 seconds. I would have been like, all right, I did it. I'm happy. I can move on.
Yeah. I feel that.
Well, you say you're too old, but I mean, there's been plenty of guys who trained MMA for their whole lives. I mean, and they still fought until 46. You know,
Have you not seen this
Henderson.
Bro, it's true. And I'm out here doing fucking frog splashes and Canadian destroyers, dude. So you never know what you might
Exactly.
do next, boys.
That's the spirit right there.
How does that come about that you end up kind of, you know, in the show?
Oh my God. So, Fulton, Madman Fulton, for like months, for like 3 months in a row, Madman Fulton would walk out and he would fuck with me. He would shove me, he would push me down, he would throw my camera. Dude, it was relentless, dude, for months. And then finally there was one show where he went for a clothesline and he missed the clothesline and he basically speared me and he picked me up and used me as a battering ram, and that was the final straw, Bubba. That was the final straw. So he ended up having a match with Crash Jackson, and Crash Jackson is my boy, and he was trying to pull some shit on my boy Crash Jackson. So, dude, I had to get involved, man. I had to fucking get involved. So I frog splashed his monkey ass, and we ended up getting the dub.
Nice. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, man. So you said you like to manifest, like what are you looking to in the future? Like, what is the current goal, or what is one of the next things you're looking to chase out?
So I think right now, what I'm really focusing on is getting somewhere a little more permanent. I'm in no rush to be like contracted somewhere and like shooting for the tippity top. I really do enjoy working the indies. So ideally, what I would love is if my like home, like Revolver's like my home, man. Revolver is my #1 promotion. Like, I have a fucking Revolver tattoo. Like, Revolver's my family. I owe so much to Sammy. Ideally, what I would like to see is Revolver get on, you know, I just want to see Revolver climb the ladder and get on a new stage, a new platform, like, get seen by a wider audience. I want to see Revolver get the utmost success. If I can make a career off of being with Revolver, I'll be happy. As of right now, there's a lot of opportunities. Being able to work NWA shows, Revolver shows, TNA shows, and having the freedom to do all that, fuck, I'll do it all, man. I'll do it all until someone comes with something worthwhile that's going to lock me up. But again, I'm in no rush to do that. And I've always told Sammy, and now I'm glad this is on the record, if I ever take any sort of deal anywhere, it will be negotiated that I still have to work with Revolver. I don't think there can exist, I don't think I can exist like working somewhere and just bailing on Sammy, man. I don't fucking think I can do it. I don't think I can do it.
Yeah, dude. I like that feeling though of having a home, you know? No matter what you're doing.
Dude. Man, he lets me do whatever I want. Never once told me directions or scolded me for doing this, or he's only ever encouraged me and complimented me and let me flourish there, to the point where he told me once, he goes, bro, if you want to jump in the ring and shoot naked, go for it. You can literally do whatever the fuck you want at Revolver. So like sometimes I'm hesitant to like jump on the ring apron and shoot from the ring, because whatever, like, I'm not part of the show, I'm not trying to be seen or whatever, but sometimes I want to get that shot, you know, and he encourages me. He even tells me after every show, he makes sure to tell me, bro, don't be afraid, bro, you can shoot the whole show on the ring apron if you want. So that how comfortable I feel there helps me produce the best work I can possibly do, as opposed to other places I shoot at, I'm walking on eggshells, or I have directions, or you can't do this, you have to stay off this decided you have to do this and all these rules and shit. Dude, I have no rules at Revolver. I can literally do whatever I want. Obviously, I keep it in check. I'm not a fucking asshole. But it's amazing knowing that that is home, and I get to do whatever I want creatively. I can bring my drone in there. I can do whatever I want. Having that creative freedom, he knows how much that means to me, and I think he is happy that he can let me get that satisfaction of, yo, go create. He's never been like, you need to do this, this, and this. I show up, I do the job, and that's it.
Well, now, do you call your drone Vanguard 3, Vanguard 4, anything like that?
No, I used to have some cool names for my drones. One of my drones' name was Your Mans and Them, named after a famous Slug song, Atmosphere song. But yeah, they my latest one broke, and I've kind of been a little jaded on using them. So I had a flyaway in Texas, and that boy made a beeline for like people. So after that, I was like, man, I don't know if I trust these boys anymore. So I've been putting also I want to value what I do a little more. I don't want to go everywhere and just offer everything right off of the bat. Like, if you want drone services, it costs this much. If you want ringside, it costs this much. I need to value my stuff a little bit more instead of just being like, I'm going to show up with all my shit, you get everything for free.
Yep.
Right.
100%.
So let's go back a little bit, because you mentioned when you first started with photography, you didn't really have that good of an eye. And now, I mean, you're super well known for that eye. What do you think, or how did that develop for you?
Dude, I don't know. All I know is, sorry. I don't know why this thing's going off. So when I was young, a lot of what I would like to do before I had like anything really to shoot, that's the thing with photography is like, you gotta have something to shoot. And to me, like, I didn't want to be a nature photographer, or like that shit to me was boring. So I like had this craving to do like, I don't know, skateboarding. I wanted to do like skateboarding or I don't know, something more like energetic. Yeah. And then I did start finding people that were into sports like that. And once I was kind of in that world, I think that's where I developed the eye. Once I started shooting skateboarding is when I started seeing things differently. And I think it's because I had a subject matter finally, and I wasn't just like roaming around looking for like cool looking things. It was like, once I started to want to create moments, that's what like flipped the switch. I want to capture a moment, not like a snapshot of a thing. I want to capture like emotion, and that's what started to change things. And skateboarding is a very highly emotional thing. You'll go and skate with someone for 3 hours, and they're just gonna fall, get extremely angry, and then maybe finally land something after hours and hours. So it's like, it's a grind doing that. So I think I learned a lot of lessons being part of that.
Yeah.
God, dude, that's fun. Like, how did the skateboarding progress to wakeboarding, and like how did that like all just kind of progress for you, like to get to where you're doing like Nike stuff?
So I had lived in a house with, I was very lucky. I was at UCF, and I joined like a wake skate club.
Okay.
And in the club, Orlando is the hub for wakeboarding and wake skating. All of the pros lived there. All of the tricks were invented there. A lot of the spots are there. It was the hub. So when I joined that team at the college, there was already pros on that team. So once I built a relationship with them and they found out that I was a shooter, it was just a natural mix. So now I finally had professionals to shoot with, and I ended up moving into a house. It was a lake house with 6 to 8 people, depending on who was there, basically, who was traveling and whatnot. There was one videographer, one photographer, me, and then 4 to 6 athletes. And one of the athletes was sponsored by Vans, and all the other athletes were sponsored by Nike. So Nike gives their athletes a jet ski every year. You get a new jet ski. So we had fucking 5 jet skis in our backyard in our lake, and every day we would just wake up and make content. It was basically like a content house for wake skating. And because my friends rode for Nike and rode for Vans, I got published for Nike and Vans. It was purely through my friends and the friendship that I had established with them. When my friend got signed to Vans, they told him that if he has a photographer he can recommend, they'll look into his profile, but if they don't, they can fly a photographer from Dallas to Florida. And he said, oh, no. My best friend lives with me, and he's a pretty good photographer. They sent my credentials, and Vans hired me. So I was working for Vans and Nike at the same time, shooting multiple 2-page spreads for both companies. Basically every month, every magazine had a bunch of tussle content in there. I wasn't tussle then, but had some tussle content in there.
Dude, that's awesome. This is just for me because I want to know, how crazy was Wes when you met him back then? I didn't know him in his wakeboarding days.
Yo, Wes is and always will be my favorite wild boy. Let's just say that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, bro. Yeah. No, Wes is awesome. I fucking love that dude. I owe him so much, and to this day, if I call him, he'll pick up. He's always offered his place to me anytime I'm in Orlando. He's like, bro, stop by. He always wants to take. I love that he's also still my last link to wakeboarding and wake skating, because everyone basically retired or got out of the sport. They're all like old and fat and have kids and shit now. It's crazy. And then Wes still lives on a lake, still has a boat, still wake skates. So I'm hurt to go wake skate with Wes.
Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure. So when we did Classic Florida Wrestling, we were all checked up at Wes's house having a grand time. Nice little car ride down there. And you know the funny is, dude, is Tussle was working hard that whole day. I swear it was like you were running around doing shit on your computer, waiting during setup. You were just doing photos, and you dude was everywhere in the building. Yeah. Crazy just how hard you go when you're at a show.
Yeah, man, it's true. There's always something to be done, and I have like a never-ending checklist. And I really like to get what I've called like motion IDs is what they have kind of become to known as, and they're kind of like my little like signature shot. I just like, they're basically like motion portraits, and I like to add a lot of movement. I've been adding like smoke and very dramatic lighting, and so at every show I have like a goal to try to get. It's probably never fucking happen, but I have a goal to shoot every single roster member there. I want to get a motion portrait of every single person there. Again, it never happens, but even if I can get like 50%, like at this last Revolver, I finally have like a little bit of a rapport with Moxley, like to the point where like probably the first 8 shows that I shot with Moxley, I guarantee he wouldn't know my name. Guarantee it. And now I finally feel like if someone were to like point to me and be like, hey, who's that guy? He might be like, oh, I think that's Tussle. So I finally have a little bit of a rapport with him. I mean, I've been doing fucking house and shit now, so you'd think. But at Revolver, I didn't really get a lot of motion portraits, and Moxley showed up. And he kind of hangs out in the same backstage area that I do where I shoot my stuff. And he was like kind of hanging out near me like for a few minutes. So I was like, if he wasn't like feeling the vibe, he would have just probably left by now. So I was like, let me shoot my shot. And I was like, hey, Mox, I don't want to bother you, bud, but can we get a couple motion IDs? And he's like, oh, yeah, the ones you guys use for the highlight reels? And I was like, yes, exactly. And he's like, yeah, let's go. So he shot with me. I took like maybe 2 or 3 minutes of his time because I don't like bugging him. And I was like, that's it, Bubba, you're all set. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. And then he starts fucking putting me over, dude, and he's like, yeah, so those shots you've been doing lately are really good, man. And just like showing me love, dude, which is crazy because the dude's never even said like a full sentence to me. And now he's having like a full-blown conversation with me, complimenting me. Dude, it blew my mind, bro. And I was supposed to shoot with Killer Kelly, and I had told Kelly, like, yo, meet me in the back. I'm gonna shoot with Mops for like 1 minute. And she came back and she stood there and was like, saw us having a conversation, and she just came up, she goes, Tussle, I'll come find you later. I was like, thank you, baby. Like, you can't walk away from a Mops conversation, bro. You can't.
Right.
You can't do it, dude. Like, that was a very special moment to me because, like I said, I've been trying to, like, there's a certain point with the workers, a certain bond or relationship that you get with them that makes working with them so much more fun. And I can go and grab all of my homies and be like, yo, come shoot with me, and there's no problems about it. I want to get like that with everybody. And someone like Moxley is, like, a little bit harder of a shell to crack. So the fact that he, like, gave me that time and spoke to me, and it just really meant a lot, man. And I really cherish that time, that little 30-minute pocket that I had with him. And then Sammy came in the back, and Sammy was talking to us. And later, Sammy was like, what the fuck were you doing with Mox? And I was like, dude, I have no idea. He fucking cornered me. He was talking to me for like 30 minutes. I was like, I have no idea, like, where that came from, bro. And he's like, yeah. Like, he knows you. He likes you, bro. He knows who you are. And I was like, yeah, but he's never done that to that extent. So very, very cool to have that interaction with Mox, man.
Dude, that's awesome. It's just cool to hear cool stories. You know what I mean? Like, it's we're all just like, so like these two guys are stand-up comedians in the Twin Cities. Tom and I though also do stuff with, you know, wrestling here in the Midwest. We do Iowa, oddly enough. We do a lot of Iowa with Absolute and Madhouse. So like, you know, when we get to have little moments like that, it's like, oh, that's so cool. So hearing you tell these stories, it's like, and it's crazy too, because to be real honest, for me, the same thing, dude, Tuss, like, it all started with a brisket.
Yeah, dude, for real. I really gotta, if I boil it down to one person, yeah, it's Wes.
Yeah, 100% for me too. That's crazy.
Yep.
Oh, I love it.
Yep.
Guys,
So,
if you have, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, so Tussle, with obviously with photography, video, or cinematography, video editing, and all that sort of stuff, if there's anything that you dislike about it, is there one thing that you just hate doing, whether it be, you know, maybe like long hours on the computer doing edits or anything like that? Is there something that if you could make it a little easier on yourself, you would take the time to make it just easier?
I honestly do love it all. I don't even want to complain about it because it's not even something to complain about. I'm so busy that I get stressed out about like edits now. So the shooting is always super easy. The shooting is like, I never get stressed about shooting anything, and I love that. Like, I know a lot of ringside people that get really anxious, and like some people that like won't even shoot ringside because last minute they stress themselves out and like freak out and shit. I love this shit so much that I get zero stress when I'm flying to Dayton or flying to Des Moines and I know that I'm gonna shoot a show. I'm like I'm elated. I can't wait, and I know that this is like what I was meant to do, and I absolutely love it. And I get to shoot the coolest fucking shit in wrestling, so it's really a fucking blessing. The only thing that bums me out, to answer your question, is the editing process, bro. And it's simply because it's incredibly time consuming, and I really undervalue my time, so I'll end up charging very minimal for something that'll end up taking me hours and hours worth of time, and then I end up kind of screwing myself over because I have a standard that I want to maintain. So no matter who I'm delivering the product to, whether it's for Revolver or whether it's for a small indie show in Florida, they're going to get the same product. So that sometimes ends up screwing me over because I like to be budget-minded and helpful to the homies. Like, so many people helped me out that I want to give back to, and I also want people to have good content. So I'm very open to, if a promotion is paying me and and the boys want content as well, yo, throw me a couple bucks and you guys can get the same content. I'm very happy to do that. It's just at this point, I take so many jobs for editing that I'm swamped, man. And I don't want to like use some AI program or like find some shortcut. Like I have to do it the old-fashioned way. But like it just stacks and stacks and stacks. Like I got a message earlier from Gringo Loco who's pissed at me because I made an edit for him. He's not pissed at me. I made an edit for him and we had to like readjust it a little bit. And I've been faving him a little bit because I don't have time to. I've been literally in planes and shooting and everywhere else. Like I just don't have time. So it's a simple little edit and like it should have been done a week ago. But you know, people like that, just get on me. If you're out there and you're listening and I owe you something, just get on me and remind me. My brain hurts from like all this shit and all the flights and stuff. So just bear with me, guys. Bear with me. But yeah, editing, bro. If there's one thing, editing bums me out, dog. Editing bums me out.
Well, that makes sense. And we also just got to see Gringo Loco on Saturday at the first wrestling show. But I got to tell you, man, it's really interesting to hear you say that you're okay with going to Des Moines. So that really shows the positivity you have in life, because there's a lot of people, especially being from Minnesota, that if you say, oh, I'm going to Des Moines, they're like, well, why? Why would you want to do that?
Listen, I'll go as far as saying that I fucking love Des Moines. Yo, and so Des Moines is where I did the frog splash.
Nice.
And dude, I'm over in Des Moines, boys. I'm over in Des Moines. When I like walk out to the ring, people in the audience are like chanting tussle. There's people that'll grab me and be like, "You gonna frog splash tonight?" Like, dude, they love me in Des Moines. So I have a little bit of extra love for the Des Moines crowd because, dude, they put me over hard, bro. My buddy who does the hard cam, the guy that runs the production for the pay-per-view feed, I asked him if he could send me all the angles of the frog splash because I wanted to see the hard cam. Because from what I remember, when I walked up to the ropes, bro, everyone there stood up. So I wanted to see the hard cam angle. And he sent me the hard cam angle, and you can't even see the ring because when I climb up to the ropes, every fucking person in that arena, there was damn near 2,000 people there, guys. Every fucking person there stood on their feet and was cheering for me to do that frog splash. That's like, and Sammy knows that it's like kind of my boyhood dream to like do wrestling shit. So the fact that he trusts me to do that, like, I could have climbed the top rope and fallen off and looking like a complete fucking jackass. and that dude trusted me. Dude, I was going to do a 450. I was going to do a 450. The only reason I didn't is because Rachel Armstrong did one earlier in the night. And it's like a no-no or whatever to, you know, repeat moves and shit.
Yep.
Right.
So out of respect to Rachel and out of the mad love that I have for fucking RVD. I'm a RVD fucking stan, guys.
Nice.
I decided to go with the frog splash, and funny enough, about a month ago, I never thought I would shoot with RVD. I shot a match of RVD versus Speedball,
Nice.
and he did a 5-star frog splash, and that was it. Like, I was ready to retire from shooting. Like that's the peak, man. That's the peak.
Oh, that's what's up. Hey, Tina, welcome. Tina, you may have seen Tussle when you go down to those Revolver shows. You frequent those a lot down in Iowa. We were gonna go. Tom and I had plans to go to the one was what was it? It was Cardona and Paul.
Oh yeah, Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah, we were gonna try to make it down there because the night before we were already gonna be in Iowa working a show. Didn't work out.
What happened?
Didn't work out. This guy ended up having to work. You know, we came back.
Yeah. The second and third jobs and stuff like that always bogs down the schedule.
I was gonna hit you up though if we were gonna come.
Well, listen, I'll tell you this: if you guys are ever in the area, again, we do Texas, Dayton, and Des Moines. If you guys are ever in the area and want to go to a Revolver show, please, please, please do not hesitate to let me know. I got you guys tickets. I got you guys VIP treatment.
Jesus.
Yes, I got a little bit of swing there, boys. So so I can get you guys in. I actually really like doing that because again, so many people have given to me. So I really like when one of my homies is able to come out. One of my photographer friends from Florida flew to Dayton just to go to a Revolver show.
Nice.
And I told him, yo, bring your camera, get some shots, have fun, and do the time of his life. I've had multiple workers drive from Florida to Texas to go to Revolver shows just for an opportunity, security, whatever they can do, just getting your foot in the door. So I'm happy to, anytime my homies, again, Revolver's my home. So anytime my homies want to go to Revolver, that's my treat.
There you go. June 22nd, the next Revolver show in Iowa. We might have to try to make that down there.
I think we might have a scheduling conflict.
Are we doing a show? Where are we at that night? Are we in Waterloo, Algona? What are we doing?
It's Absolute in the fairgrounds.
All right. Well,
that's the Algona show.
We'll have to catch you at the next one. Man, that's just it, dude. Like, we get to go everywhere but Des Moines, basically, when we're in Iowa. But we will be in Des Moines doing a show in September. Finally, some big city style in Iowa, not the little town. So, dude, we don't want to keep you any longer. We think you're an incredibly busy man. You said it yourself, and you've been driving this whole time. I don't know how safe that is. But dude,
I'm making it work, man.
I love it. I can't thank you enough for coming on here tonight. Did you guys want to do the Tom game with him?
Yeah, why not?
Let's do it real quick. That way it's a good finish for the segment here.
JR.
Love it. Let's do it.
Well, you gotta give me a chance to find it.
Sorry.
Slowest producer in the world is what I was saying.
That's right. So Tussle, a lot of people play the game F, Marry, Kill. This is very similar to that. So instead of obviously F, Marry, Kill with the three of us, you're going to pick one of us to be your tag team partner in a scenario, one of us to be your opponent, and one of us to be your manager of the three of us co-hosts here.
Of the
dude, that's all right. I like that. I'm gonna have to fight Big Ace. I'm gonna have to fight Big Ace.
He's fighting his own friend. God damn it, that's fucking brutal.
Just because I know that'll be a nice little tussle. I think that'll be fun, and it'll be a friendly brotherly scrap.
Yes,
because that's my guy, and I'm all about positivity. So I'm not trying to start any beef with anyone. We're just gonna have a nice little friendly tussle. It'll be like a work shoot.
There you go.
Or a shoot work or whatever you want to, whatever. I think I'm gonna have JR as my manager, and we're gonna have to go with Top Shelf as a tag partner. I think that I could hand you the mic in the ring and let you do the promos while I'm doing the ass kicking. You know what I'm talking about?
Hell yeah.
I hate how right you're on that.
Either myself or JR, we could deliver some promos like crazy. It's that stand up in us.
So who else do we have that had that combination?
Let's see. The last time we had Tom, Ace, JR was Jackson King, his original lineup, and then he changed that to be Tom, JR's opponent, and Ace as his manager on the second time around. We've also had, let's see, where's the other one? Oh, here we go. Sage Hill picked that same one. One of the Iowa ladies. They're defending their tag team championships coming up with Madhouse. That's it. I don't see any other ones that are Tom, Ace, and JR. So only a few.
For some reason, I thought that was Billy Stark's picks too. But
well, that's a good point. Nope. She picked JR as her tag, you as her opponent, and me as her manager. So
shout out to Billy. She's a real one.
Oh, she really is.
One of our favorites over here, dude.
Yeah, she's great.
Guys, if you aren't already, at Tusslemania, Tusslemania, type that in, follow it. the content's just amazing, dude. You'll see like the best of the world of wrestling, like you've never seen him before, all because this man's magic right here. So, guys, make sure you following him, check him out. Apparently, we can't do it in June, but dude, we're gonna make it down to see you in Iowa and hang out with you and
absolutely
over show here soon.
Hell yeah. Yes, please do not hesitate to hit me up. Dude, this has been a pleasure, guys. You guys are awesome. This has been a lot of fun, and let's do it again.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Have a good night there, sir.
Continued success, sir.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Get some rest in between everything.
Yeah. Dude, I'm trying, man. I'm about to go hang out with Lucha. Lindsay Dorado, you know. Who knows what might go down there, you know, but, you know, maybe a little smoking, some here, some there, you know. But, you know, we'll get some content and keep it going.
Hell yeah, man.
Brother. All right, man. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks,
appreciate you, boys.
Take care.
All right.
Peace.
Dude, fantastic stuff there, man. Much appreciated him making the time for us, obviously, even if it is driving. We obviously want everybody who's our guest to be as safe as possible. But, you know, man, that guy, he might as well call himself Hustle Tusslemania, because that guy is just all over the place. I know that's bad. Pun, maybe, but
we did that when we. Sorry, my sandal keeps getting stuck to my backpack at my feet. It's just bothering me. Anyways, no lie. When we were down in Florida for Classic Florida Wrestling, I mean, the man didn't stop. He was either sitting in a corner, just on the laptop, editing shit. He was getting content during setup. He's getting content during the show. He's back edited the whole time after Will Teardown was going on. And then the whole ride, me and him just sat in the back of the car and watched UFC on his iPad while Wes drove us back to Orlando. But man, and you know what's cool is, like, I've always known that, like, he's homies with Wes because that's obviously how I have met him, but I didn't know that full on story to the point that, like, they met when Wes was still doing wakeboarding and stuff. So you guys know Wes, you know how awesome of a person he is, and it's crazy how, again, none of this would be happening for me, which in all honesty has probably brought you two guys into this too, as far as like Absolute and Madhouse. So it's like a lot of that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't going to Hall of Fame weekend and meeting Wes Briscoe. And he's so over there that, you know, as soon as I was associated with him down there, I was completely, you know, on the end with that crew, which is where, you know, Malice, Jason Prentice, you know, a Maddie Starr, you know, Justin Decent, all these guys that I've known for so long that are the people we work with and have brought us into this business at this point now. Crazy how it all kind of comes back to Wes Briscoe. So much love to our boy Wes.
Absolutely.
We got. Oh God.
I was just gonna say, you know, we had a rare opportunity this last week to, you know, get to hang out in person.
Dude, and first time that at least me and you have been to, like, well, maybe not, but it's the first time in a long time I've been to an indie show that I wasn't working.
Yeah, no, I don't. The last time was the Sunday of the January WrestlePalooza. My buddy Luke, for the Wednesday show I do, he was hanging out with us as well. He came up to the cities and we went to that show. So that was the last time I think I had just gone to an indie show where I wasn't working or in some capacity being there as a special guest or whatever the hell. So I don't know. It was a lot of fun, man. I don't know how you guys felt, but
oh, dude, big shout out to First Wrestling putting on a great show. Some great talent. I'll say it. I was that guy. I was the only guy in the room that had the balls to fucking boo Bret Hart when he came out.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I didn't
hear it either.
I was from you, but I didn't hear it.
No. Bullshit. I know Tom heard me because he looked right at me and I did it and he laughed. So you did hear me. Don't lie.
Well, I didn't hear it after you said the whole room because I had to look at you specifically and I heard like boo, boo, boo.
No,
boo.
that's because everybody else was cheering. But and also you all heard me say Canada sucks. I yelled that.
I did hear that.
Yeah. Well, so that might have been your favorite moment, but
that wasn't my favorite moment. Are you kidding me?
Well,
First of all, the main event with Gringo Loco
Yeah.
and Devon Monroe was fucking spectacular. Hopefully Monroe's all right with that nose. Looked like it took a good hit. Looked good after. Saw him walk by. Looked good. We got to see our good old friend Jassi in the building. We got to see our good old friend Big Old Possum, who you guys haven't gotten to meet yet on the show at least, but maybe soon. And then of course our good friend Darren Corbin. We got to check in with him.
And Colt Cabana.
And Colt
our
Cabana.
good friend Colt Cabana was always good to see him.
And Clark and Badger Briggs. I mean, it was
Briggs,
a whole
Clark.
slew of top shelf 2-count favorites there, if you will. I'm sorry, I had to just drop that in there. The top shelf.
Now,
it has a good ring to it, right?
I will say this. One thing that I was a little surprised by. No food.
Yeah.
Not popcorn, not some nacho. Like
a corn dog, maybe. A corn dog would have been nice.
Like even Nella said, he was like, dude, I could go for like just a snacks right now. Like,
yeah,
like some popcorn. Or something. Like, I was very surprised that they had no food in there.
Well, let's be honest though. This is a casino. They really want you to go to a grill or they go to the buffet.
But they're winning. They're making money either way.
Well, I'm not saying it, but it also might be some of the other events that they've had in there. It is carpeted. Maybe they just don't trust.
Could be that.
Trust some of these people. I'll tell you this: my favorite part of the night, and we mentioned Darren Corbin. So he's in a 6-man tag match. Him with partners Warhorse, who is the current VFW Uptown champion, and then Heavy Metal Lore took on Effie, Alley Catch, and Dark Sheik. Hell of a match. Then there's a lady behind us who just yells out, "Beat the ginger out of him." And I immediately turned around and said, "Excuse me, what did you say?" And she goes, "Oh, not you. I'm talking about that guy up there." I'm like, well, there is 2 gingers who are sitting right in front of you. So maybe, just maybe calm down on the lingo there.
Also, another good match. They faced off Dark Sheik and Team Bussy with Effie and Alley Catch, which always cool getting to see Effie in the ring. And that would be, I think, the only second time I've seen Alley Catch live, because I never saw her at first. We only saw her at that GCW show.
Oh, that's right.
Down in Chicago, JR, which we'll get to that in a minute.
I got to tell you, I'm gonna say out of that whole show, I love the whole show. I personally am super tired about Super Atomic Thunder Frog using that goddamn.
Get him out of here! Get him out of here!
Tired of that shit.
I am not a fan anymore.
It's every match I've ever seen.
The only animal I like in that damn ring is Big Old Possum.
That's right.
I used to like Thunder Frog, but I'm not with it anymore.
The hammer is that what you guys are complaining about? Is the hammer use?
And the fox?
Well, the fact that he uses that hammer and it knocks so many people out of the ring, I'm sorry, that's bullshit.
Shouldn't be allowed in a battle royal or Royale Rumble.
Listen, you guys can complain all you want. But Big Old Possum knew what he was doing. He grabbed all that ropes.
Well, yeah,
he won,
and good for him.
And he'll get a title shot.
But I'm telling you, that's got to be looked at. It really does.
Just like how Bianca Belair's ponytail should not be.
Oh, Jesus. Let it go, man. Nope. It's not illegal. Nope. It's her hair.
It should be illegal. If it's so long, it should be illegal. No, but really good show. Hilarious match between Man Scout and Colt Cabana.
Yes.
Yeah, just a really good time. Again, always a good show. We weren't there, but heard Friday's night stuff was a lot of fun as well. And it sounded like all the talent and a lot of the fans who were there all weekend had a blast. Might even be worth checking out, going up Friday, staying the night next year, just to check that stuff out. Sounded like everybody had a good time. Plus hang out with some friends, some homies. But yeah, great time. Again, great job by First Wrestling. Awesome that TI welcomed them into the casino there and to their property. And cool space, man. Great venue. It's a great venue for wrestling.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it was really set up well, I thought.
Yeah.
And the lighting that they had on the stage as they came out, I thought was super.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like another thing, just small little constructive criticism, they let the intro music play a bit too long.
Okay. Clearly, I think someone not in Versus, own company was doing music that night, because there was a few little errors with the music.
Yeah.
It happens, but there was a few that night.
Tom can tell us about that.
Yeah, Tom only did one night though. This guy had like 8.
Yeah, and my one once was the fact that I didn't bother to search the program, and because it wasn't uploaded into the list, so that's all it was, and that was a simple little error, and
it wasn't your fault.
And
well, no one's taking blame for that. It's just what it is. I mean, you know what? Let's blame Luke. Let's blame Luke Raven just for the fuck up.
It wasn't even that. Hey, JT Energy even said he wasn't mad, and not only that man put our logo across the country.
Yeah.
Across the globe. He put it in Glasgow.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, across the globe. Yeah. So shout out to our boy JT Energy.
Yeah.
Love that.
You know what?
Guy.
You know what's great about that, by the way, and being in Glasgow is because we just had Clash at the Castle. The next one is going to be in Scotland. It's going to be in Glasgow there. You know how many people are going to be seeing that logo coming through the airport or whatever? So JT Energy, you're the fucking man, dude. He's the man.
Love that guy. Yeah, dude. AEW announced that they're moving All Out.
Yes.
Surprisingly close to All Out. Like, people probably had hotels booked already. I don't see the
strong possibility of that.
I don't see the point of moving that.
Not a week. Here's the thing. You're already so close to what All In is, and people have been complaining apparently because last year with All In, All Out being within a week of each other or the following weekend, there's real issues with it. And I get it. If you're paying for the pay-per-views, it's a lot of bullshit. That's a lot of cash to be thrown out there, even just for that.
Well, it's a lot of cash to throw out for 2 shows where the storylines didn't really do, you know what I mean? You couldn't do much with the storylines doing 2 humongous pay-per-views 7 days apart.
Well, true. I mean, and that's why you almost had to focus all in on these stories and all out on these stories, and then maybe you throw in a championship match where, whoever wins this has to then face this person over here like a week later, because that's reasonable. I mean, promotions have been doing that kind of stuff for years. As far as you win on Raw, then you get to face the champion next week on Raw. Mm-hmm. That's reasonable enough. But yeah, moving it back, not even a whole week. You're literally moving it from Sunday of Labor Day weekend to the following Saturday, right before the NFL season really kicks off. I mean,
which is odd too, because again, Labor Day weekend worked so well for fans, I think, because of that day, Labor Day for the trip.
Yes.
Chicago's been your home. And let's also say, like, this is really the first, this is kind of their mania, right? Like, this is the OG pay-per-view for them. This and Double or Nothing are always going to be, those are the big 2, I guess, fucking whatever the one we went into November. Full Gear, I guess, and Revolution. But, like, they're starting to add so much other shit right now. Those will always kind of be those first, the first 2 years over what they did.
Mm-hmm.
So those will kind of go down, I think, in history. But like really, all in and Double or Nothing are like the 2 big ones. Like shit's happening at Double or Nothing. Shit's gonna happen at the end of the summer at All In. So hang your hat on those anchors that really helped you grow. I get you already booked the fucking stadium in London a year in advance, which dummies, you then had a year in advance to reevaluate the second part of this. But in all reality, just keep it. And now this next year, pull back the London one. Do it a month before. Because let's be honest, that's not, I get it, more seats sold. But I like that there should be some sort of like tradition in wrestling and in these companies, and that they do You know what I mean? Like, we always know WWE pay-per-views are going to be around the same time. When TNA and Impact was running at their highest, they kind of always did Bound for Glory around the same time of the year. They always did this. Again, you added All In or All Out, whatever it was in London. You added that in. You used the same basically exact name. Again, it made no sense when they did it last year to do it so close. And everybody said that as soon as they announced the date. They're like, why would they do this the week before All In Chicago, which is one of their big pay-per-views of the year? And I don't know, it just feels weird that that's the one they're gonna move. Like, I really just ride it out and then move back London. Do that in fucking early August.
Well, and I think you're right, especially if you look at the English or British soccer schedule, right? So you move that one, it doesn't matter that much. Wembley's not really going to be used a lot other than a few tournaments here and there, but soccer is not really in effect in Europe in the summer months. I mean, that is really a sport that starts, tail end of August anyways, and then runs until, the end of the Premier League was just last week. So
yeah, so that's what I think would be the smart move. Maybe they'll go back to that or something similar after this year, but moving that back a week made me kind of sad for everybody who's going to Chicago, because obviously their plans were already being made, being that we're only a couple months out. You know what I mean? That it's like, that's like if we were going to be going again, JR, like, we probably would have been scouting our rooms or had them booked by this point.
Oh yeah,
because we would have known it's always Labor Day,
Yep.
and it fills up. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. See, the other thing too is I don't know why you would want to try to do some NFL weekend. I don't think it's going to hurt your pay-per-view buys, but it may hurt you a little bit on how many people are going to travel to Chicago for it.
Yeah.
Well, that's a valid point. I know personally, as far as, just that weekend, you already started off with the NFL starts off on Thursday anyways.
Oh.
And then more people are hyped up with second week of college football than they are the first week, because there is just so much anyways that first weekend. Like, you got teams who are always going to be playing at AT&T Stadium now. You got big matchups between conferences as far as in-state rivals. Like Florida State, Miami always used to play on Labor Day, the day of Labor Day. So, but now you got so much drawn out attention to how the conference schedules are played out. There's going to be a lot more attention towards college football too. So I don't know if it's really worth moving it that back or moving it to the 7th now, because you are fighting then college football fans, which, this next year, Texas, Oklahoma go to the SEC. The Big Ten adds those 4 teams from the Pac-12. I mean, it's a big college football season, and even bigger, EA Sports is going to have college football 2025. Video game is back, baby. I love that thing. That's better than fucking Madden for a lot of years.
I guess it comes out the same weekend as Hall of Fame this year. So Zach Takes from Shotgun Radio has already thrown the challenge out. Some live streams with the 2 count for some NCAA football.
There you go.
So yeah, that might happen. Yeah, I don't know. It was an odd move, but yeah.
JR, you got any opinions on
it? They're gonna do what they're gonna do. I mean,
here's the deal. Sorry.
One of the things that I read in the past couple of days is Kevin Nash. And he talks a lot about his on his podcast. One of the things he said was, or somebody said, "Oh, you seemed like you've softened on AEW." He said, "No, I haven't softened." He says, "I don't have a favorite. I'm not. I still make royalties from WWE, but I'm not. I don't have a contract with them." But he said, I've just decided I'm not going to make fun of AEW anymore because it's too easy. And I'll be honest with you, there are things that I like about AEW and things I think they're just absolutely ridiculous. And if I'm 100% honest, I'm probably watching wrestling less now than I did before we started this.
Yeah. To be honest, it's just I'm so busy. It's hard to catch up most of it nowadays, dude. That's what sucks. Yeah. I mean, here's the deal, though. We do have Double or Nothing coming up this week, and that's what I was gonna pull up. Let me get that up real quick.
By the way, if you wouldn't
7 o'clock Sunday night, and yeah, so we have a grudge match with here. Actually, you know what, guys? Give me just 1 second. Let's
take your time. We've got nothing to do but kill time. Malice!
Hey, Malice.
Wow, way to show up at the very end there. No, I'm kidding. I'm fucking around. Welcome, Malice. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Malice, you missed our good friend Tusslemania. It was good. So we got the grudge match. Orange Cassidy taking on Trent Beretta for retiring Chucky Taylor. Which I guess right? Like Chuck Taylor actually is retired now. Unless it's not, but that's what was
my understanding was that his injury is so severe that they don't think he's going to be able to do anything like wrestle again.
It's insane. Shout out to Chucky T. Always love seeing that guy live. Great talent.
Well, they always say, you know, you can still have some hope though later, you know, depending on how it might go with the energy. You know, you see Adam Copeland there on the pay-per-view and stuff too. So it's not unheard of that these guys retire and come back. Brian Danielson, the same thing.
Yeah, but if he blows up an ankle,
I know,
and there are bone fragments all over the place, that's a totally different thing than you know, because with the neck, they can go in there and they can clean that up and fuse it. Like, I mean, the same thing with, you know, in essence, the same thing with Saraya, the same thing with Danielson. But the ankle is just a totally different bird, I think. Yeah. I'm not a doctor, of course. But anyway, I'm not trying to argue. I'm just, you know.
Yeah, I know you're not a doctor because you're here on Twitch with us.
That's right. That's right.
Dr.
I'll say that, I mean, not to necessarily go out of order here and stuff, but it's weird that they're putting this as a triple main event and the TBS championship is above the women's title. I feel that's a little skewy.
Hang on. Let's get down on that. First, we got the IWGP World Heavyweight title going, championship eliminator with John Moxley and is it Takeshita? Takeshita, how's he say?
Takeshita.
That'll
be a great match.
Mouse is right,
and they've had a match before, and it was fantastic. This will be no different, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, TNT Championship barbed wire steel cage match with Adam Copeland and Malachi Black.
Only way they could make that better is if they had some way for something to blow up in a pussy kind of way.
Is it going to explode? Very anticlimactic.
Well, I'll say this. I hope that Malachi Black wins this title. I just think that
he deserves it.
Well, and they stalled out the House of Black's momentum by taking the trios title off of them and putting them on the Acclaimed in Wembley. I get it. The Acclaimed was probably the most popular they've ever been at that time, but you could
don't always have to give it to the most popular at the time. You can give it to who makes the most sense and is drawing heat.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Way to jump on my fucking point there, Ace. Jesus. Fucking
Well, you're just not fast enough with it, Tom.
No, hold on. Hold on. Now, Ace gets to be long-winded with his fucking dialogue and stuff like that, and I got to fucking come over here and just be like, stop talking over me, you fuck. He
wasn't going to say a single word that I said. He's a liar.
Get the fuck out of here. Stop talking over me, you fucking clown. And I'm the bad guy around here. I want to make sure everybody understands this. I'm apparently the bad guy around here, and these motherfuckers can't just let me just get my words in.
Did you say you're the black guy around here?
The bad guy.
Oh.
Now you can't listen to me? How fucking petty are you, Ace?
Yeah, actually, I don't.
yeah. You are petty. Yes. Fucking clown.
So
Anyhow,
I'm so petty, Tom, that I can get you going, and I'm not even. My face isn't on the screen right now.
Ooh, Tom Petty. There's another one.
shut up.
Let's dance. We got Roderick Strong for the AEW International Championship against Will Ospreay. That'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how do you think this plays out, though? I think this is a more interesting match than they have it as far as the ranking.
Okay. So hang on a sec. Has Fish or not Fish? O'Reilly? Did he do anything this? I know that he didn't join them, right?
No.
So did they have their thing, or is that still brewing?
So there's still a little bit of inside the animosity between within Undisputed Kingdom is that Wardlow will have an opportunity eventually at the title, but it's supposed to go to Adam Cole. That's the idea. So Adam Cole is kind of eyeballing him. This is still kind of secondary on a lot of that stuff. So, but I don't know. I mean, somebody has to get involved to either take out Ospreay.
So wait, I'm confused. That didn't really help me. So O'Reilly and Strong beefing is nothing then?
Not really. No, I mean it kind of just blew off because O'Reilly then went over and challenged for the
because
the Anarchy.
That's
the Anarchy is not a title match, Malice.
And Cassie and Beretta, because that's what you would think would happen here is if they were trying to do something with those guys, that O'Reilly gets involved with this somehow and costs Strong, but also Ospreay's first title shot in AEW now, right?
Correct.
So yeah, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't win. AEW.
Again, I'm just also thinking. I know Ospreay's, very popular, but I think the right choice is. Thank you, JR. Yes, he has stolen the top shelf.
Good lord,
bruv.
Hand gesture and all. So, bruv.
Oh, bruv.
Listen here, bruv. Idiots. Fucking idiots. I'm working with a bunch of fucking children.
Well, but that's
and one of them is the oldest man on Twitch.
I don't accept that.
A fucking child.
Yeah, then we got the AEW Women's Championship, and that is Toni Storm taking on Serena Deeb. And Tom makes a very, very big valid point. In old school wrestling, it would go in order of how important titles are. Mm-hmm. We're not doing that on this card. Clearly. Now, again, I don't. There's two big reasons this is happening, that this is not above that TBS championship match. A, it is Mercedes' first big match in AEW. B, let's just be honest and admit how much credit that Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair got and their stare off in Mania.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a similar recreate.
Thank you, Malice.
And that's why he does a lot of the,
This is why he books shit for a living.
He knows what he's doing.
But yeah, I mean, dude, here's the deal. Toni Storm is such a great heel with this timeless character. Such a great champion. I don't see Deeb taking it off her because Deeb's just been around for a while now. And let's be honest, I think if she was going to have her time, she would have had it already in AEW. It does suck though. I wish, because here's the deal. We talk about it with WWE, how the IC title used to be prestigious. It meant something. If you got that title around your waist, you best believe that is the lighting of the rocket that's about to fucking fire your ass to the future, because you're in line now for the top of the mountain, right? And it lost that, and then it went through variations, and then it went through people holding it that really got that title pushed to the side to where I feel like the last 5 years has been trying to rebuild the IC title in WWE, and it's just still not quite there. Well, this is a new company trying to just build all of their titles, and yeah, already this early, they're letting the secondary titles go above the top of the line title, right? TBS championship. You're the champ of the TBS. That shows on TBS one night a week. AEW champion. That means you were the champion of the company, right? You were the face. So yeah, it is a little weird. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, to be real fair, and you mentioned, like Serena Deeb's time probably was a while ago. I think actually once she first signed with the company, I mean, when she came in and she lost the NWA Women's title to Thunder Rosa and then signed with AEW, that would have been the right time to put it on her because I think Hikaru Shida was the champion at the time. So
would have
been a good title.
She had it. Wait.
Yeah. But also, the TBS Championship, they're really not playing it up as they probably should as far as fans know, as far as like the grudge match kind of ideal, as far as Willow Nightingale accidentally was the one that injured Mercedes Moné. Willow's being the baby face, but they're both kind of being the baby face. But Moné, you can tell she's probably going to take her out in some nefarious way, probably hire Stokely Hathaway or
heel tendencies.
Chris Statlander. What's that?
Monet has heel tendencies. Willow,
yes.
If Willow had somebody with she should have come up with a move, and it should have been called the leg breaker. Period. But she didn't. And even if it is a mistake or an accident or whatever, that's in my opinion, you got to take advantage of everything that comes down the pike, and I don't think she did. I mean, she's over, but she could have been over in a different way.
I think the other thing too, though, is AEW works very hard to try to make us believe that their standings matter, records matter, all these kind of things matter. But then they do something like this where they are putting the grudge over the title, right? Mm-hmm. They're putting this grudge of Willow hurting Mercedes, which cost her to be delayed to coming to AEW, all this shit. But in reality, I mean, if you look at it, me sitting watching from the outside as a wrestling fan, if we're going by grudges, fucking throw that Cassidy Beretta match up top because that involved retiring somebody.
Yeah.
Like, dude's career ended. Like, also, that was one of your most over tag teams ever, and we're kind of downplaying the heel turn and the breakup. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that. But whatever. Anarchy in the Arena, the Elite taking on Bryan Danielson, FTR, Darby Allin. Whatever. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. All Anarchy and Arena matches are fun.
They are. I wish Darby Allin would have gone away much longer than he did.
Well, correct. Didn't you hear he got hit by a bus? He needs that money.
I know.
He needs the money.
Well, so yeah, he got hit by a bus.
He shouldn't need the money.
As he was getting ready to go climb Mount Everest.
Bro,
to be real fair,
with his broke foot.
I was gonna say, take a guess on what this guy's medical bills are like.
Too damn high. I mean, again, I don't know what he's paying in, medical insurance and shit like that, but it's probably not enough, to be real fair. He probably should have been getting kicked off of his insurance by now. Reality, though, with this one, since they're billing it as the Elite versus AEW, I think the Elite has to win because you have two VPs there. You have really their top prize in AEW as far as name value globally outside of Ospreay is Kazuchika Okada. FTR, I think if they win, if somehow Team AEW wins, they have to get a shot and then win those titles. I don't know. It's been disappointing every time the Bucks have gone up against FTR anyways. So I don't really want to see any more of it, but I also believe FTR should hold the titles. I don't think the Bucks need them at this point.
I don't know if either of the teams need them at this point. Like at this point, I think it's time to start introducing some fresh new tag teams.
Well, I mean, it would be good to see, like, say, Top Flight maybe get a run with the titles, but I just think FTR makes more sense as far as their legacy, especially to hold them after, being the last great rivalry of the Briscoes, and then, they were supposed to be the Young Bucks' greatest rivalry. I mean, that's why they're even called FTR, is because of the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: I feel like the Bucks are getting almost Jericho level at reinventing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that part I enjoy, but I don't enjoy the beating of the dead horse in some of these matches. And it goes to everything that you all have just said. It's like, how many times do I need to? How many iterations do we need to make? And it's bothersome to me because there's people that I would love to see that they have on their roster that they don't use.
Locker room full. TBS Championship. We just said that Mercedes Moné taking on the champ Willow Nightingale. I don't see Willow. I take that back. I was gonna say I don't see Willow dropping, but they spent all the monies.
Yeah,
on
and
Mercedes,
new,
so she's getting a title. Which is kind of sad because it'd be cool to see them run with Willow for a little while, but whatever.
Well, and I think they're going to start now that they don't have to worry about placating to Jade Cargill's needs or whatever with that title. I've seen, I think this might now suddenly become their flip that they did all those times with TNT Championship where, this guy has it for a week. Then now Sammy Guevara has it for a week. Cody gets it back again. Now Scorpio Sky has it for a while. Like, what the fuck?
Like, I really just, you don't need that shit. You don't need title matches on your every weekday programming. You don't. That's why you have pay-per-views. So people pay you to see those important matchups. Use the TV to fucking build that story. Anyways, main event of the evening. Swerve Strickland putting the title on against Christian Cage. It'll be a great match. Anything Cage is involved in, I like because he's just a fucking great heel. Just gross. Just a gross piece of shit of a heel, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. And I think Swerve will keep his title.
I remember, so when I went to WrestleMania 26, I went with two of my buddies, right? And we go to Fan Access. For whatever reason, they both wanted to wear their Twins jerseys to Fan Access that day. Everybody knows Minnesota. Whatever, dude, I don't care. They were in front of me, and we were in line to meet Christian. And they get up there. And he's just looking at both of them like, so you're from Minnesota, huh? And they're like, oh, how'd you know? And he's like, New Jersey. And I'm just behind him like, you guys are fucking idiots. You guys are idiots. Like, you specifically wore him for that reason, and then you forgot when he was like, so you're from Minnesota, huh? Fucking hilarious. Anyways. Double or Nothing, though, Sunday night, 7 p.m. pay-per-view. Tom, you and Mike streaming it?
Yeah, because that's what we're going to do. But also, I got to figure out new setup because we'll probably end up having the T-Wolves game on that night, too. So it will probably be Double or Nothing, T-Wolves game, and then comments from anybody who's watching live. So, yeah.
I was going to say Double or Nothing, T-Wolves game, Pornhub.
Listen, what I do in the comfort of my own house, that's gross.
Well,
why would I say that I go to Pornhub? Xvideo's man.
I don't know what you do. I don't know.
Tom's like, I have 4 OnlyFans subscriptions, and they keep me plenty occupied.
Listen, OnlyFans is not a bad site. There's people who just vilify things that they don't approve of to the nth degree.
Or just,
this will give you an idea of how old I am. I go to OnlyFans for the articles.
Good night, everybody. Thank you. So we're not going to be here all week. Thank you.
Officially canceled, y'all.
You fucking stupid asshole.
That's hilarious, and you know it. You're just jealous that you didn't think of it.
I didn't want to think of it.
Very excited, boys, for our new intro. Hopefully, we get that soon. We saw some people this weekend that we'll get in touch with that have interest on being guests on the show. Shows for Tom and I are going to start picking up again soon. July 13th, Rochester, Minnesota, Madhouse. Get your tickets, Chateau Theater. But I think we should end because I got some stuff to do. I don't have a lot of time tomorrow before I leave, so
I'm with you, my man.
Yeah, shut up, Ace. Enjoy your vacation, your prolonged longer weekend and shit like that. I'm gonna go work another fucking 10 to 12 hour fucking day tomorrow.
Well, I have to work tomorrow too, bro. I got the same amount.
Everybody has a gripe, Tom.
I work both jobs tomorrow, dickhead.
By the way, I just want to ask you: did you contact about Duluth?
I mean, yeah, I did. I told you that last week.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't remember.
He just
Did you hear
hasn't followed
back
up
from
yet,
him?
but no.
Okay.
So I'll reach out again. I'll probably actually, and I got word back from Mike Fink. So the show that we did at Jelly Bean Julia's will likely be a thing. I just gotta make the intro. And
Good deal. That's how you make friends in this business, kid.
Well, I thought it was my witty personality and overall great charm.
No, you're mistaken on that.
Is it because I'm a good hang? People like to talk to me.
No, I
won't say. You give the attention to the balls.
I should.
You got to cup the balls.
I should not say this on here, but yes, no, you're a thorough businessman, and you try to help people as much as you can, which
you'll never be Tusslemania.
No, you never will. But
I can't possibly be that. I don't have that
skill?
Positive energy all the time.
No, you don't. You're more similar to me, who is really gripe and complainer 96% of the time.
Listen, I only do it when I'm hungry or angry, which is 90% of the time. So you know.
So there you go.
Papa JR.
Hi,
John. Papa.
Have some spaghetti, my son.
I'm fucking delusional.
Again, thank you to Tusslemania.
Hell yeah.
Excellent guest. And I mean, JR, you're more than welcome to come with us, but we'll figure it out. Obviously, we won't make that June show, but we will definitely make the trek down and check out a Revolver show. We've been meaning to do it anyways. And it'd be cool to introduce you guys to Tussle in person. Very rad dude. So, and he's doing amazing shit, guys, for real. Like, dude, he has everybody you can think of on his fucking Rocky Romero, Billy Stark, Thunder Rosa, John Moxley, Sammy Callahan. I mean, like, literally, anyone out there, you're gonna see him have content to them on his shit, and he makes them all look fucking badass, dude.
Pretty awesome.
He'd make us look badass. You imagine the shit he could do for Team Fancy Catch-Up?
Oh God,
I can.
It'd be dope.
Top shelf. Fucking
thanks for watching, you guys. We appreciate it. We will be back next Tuesday with more stuff. Bye-bye.